it out. Okay, it's recording. Okay, cool.
Is that the beginning? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, let's try to get this in here.
Right there. Yeah, so it's already awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm doing nouns today. Hi, everyone. I'm Candace, as we know.
Candace.
Hi.
Hi, Candace.
Okay, so our objective today is we're going to just review and practice the different classifications of nouns, which most of you probably already know, but it's review. And then we're also going to be practicing identifying when a word is functioning as either a noun, an adjective, or a verb, because this is when it gets kind of tricky. So, in a sentence. Sorry, I forgot that part. Okay, so nouns are a person, place, thing, or idea, as you guys already know. Okay, but we're going to be practicing concrete or abstract nouns, so identifying which is which. So concrete nouns are nouns that can be touched, tasted, seen, or smelled. And this was a note in our book that said usually concrete nouns take on the article of the. So the examples would be like the book, the car, the perfume, the wind, the toy. So you guys already know concrete nouns. And then abstract, these ones are a little bit harder to grasp, but they're just nouns that are ideas. And note, many abstract nouns cannot be plural, so you wouldn't say like the Angers, that'd be kind of bad. But like abstract, so because I was like, well, can't you see sadness? Like you can see tears, you can see someone frowning. But the thing is that it's all different concepts or like different ideas of sadness. So someone could be like, well, he's sad when he has a smile on his face, or someone could be like, oh, he's sad because he's sobbing. So it just depends. But that's how I was able to kind of wrap my brain around it, if that helps you guys grasp it a little bit better. So just remember that these are nouns that are ideas. So you guys have that card in front of you, and it has a noun on it. And then so since we're the camera's there, we'll just do abstract. If you're abstract, come over here. And then if you're concrete, just come over here. So, yeah.
I think I'm abstract.
Help.
Jimmy, you have
Wait,
to
is it
guess
for us to
yourself.
figure it out? Is that part of it?
Yeah, so you guys
Jamie,
have
go
to
where
figure
you-
out.
Like Jamie.
What side is it? So abstract is over there, and
Abstract.
concrete's over here. They're a little, they're hard.
He really told me to go.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys read your word out and then explain why you think it's abstract or concrete. Sorry to put you on the spot, but so whoever wants to start.
Mine is annoyance, and I was at first thinking that, well, yeah, I mean, if I were to think of something that is an annoyance, it would be a thing that I'm obviously probably hearing. But an annoyance can be anything, and as somebody can find silence annoying, so I guess that is an annoyance to somebody, therefore it's relative, therefore it's an idea, which is abstract.
Well done.
Yeah.
Mine was curiosity, and my first thought was, well, you could say something like the curiosity was killing him, but people are curious about different things, so it's abstract.
Cause of death, curiosity.
Mine? Oh.
Mine's toddler as a physical human being.
Yeah.
Concrete. That's my explanation.
You can see the toddler.
Mine's diploma, because you can, and I went over here for concrete because you can be handed a diploma. You can smell a diploma, but that'd be weird. So, concrete.
There you go. Okay, good job, guys. So you can go sit back down.
Don't jiggle the camera.
So, yeah, just general rule of thumb. If it's subjective, it's abstract. So that slide should have been before, but it's not, so it's here now. But note, so abstract nouns are sometimes confused with adjectives or verbs. So examples, yeah. I wrote a love poem. So love is an adjective describing the noun poem because I wrote a love poem. I love pizza. Love is a verb because you're doing a mental action. You're loving the pizza. And then I have love for my friends. So in this instance, love is a noun, and it's because it's a thing. It's something you have. You have love for your friends. But that would be an abstract noun. Okay, so noun or adjective. So adjectives, as we reviewed, are words that describe a noun. So, as Christian said, So note, sometimes a word will be a noun in one sentence and then an adjective in another sentence. So example, the desk was a mess. So in this instance, desk of course is a noun because what was a mess? The desk. Desk is a thing. And then the desk lamp needs repair. So in this instance, desk is an adjective because it's describing the lamp. So if we got rid of lamp, then it would be the desk needs repairs, and then of course it would be a noun. But since it's describing the lamp, it's an adjective. Okay, so I didn't think of this, but maybe if you guys have a scratch piece of paper, there we go. So you're going to use the word as a noun in one sentence and as an adjective in the other. So I'm giving you guys free range. I want you to choose two, and then just basically follow along with how like this was before. So just do that on your scratch piece of paper. So you have to write it as a noun in one sentence and then as an adjective in the other. You can do any of them. Maybe we'll just start with one. Yeah. If you guys need me to go back to the slide, just let me know to get some ideas. And then just look up when you're done.
We're doing 3?
You can do 2.
One
So-
of each.
So just pick any concept, and then yeah, it would be like cigarette. You'd have to do one sentence with a noun and then one as an adjective. Yeah, but if you just want to do like
So one.
so same word for both. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for clarification, Professor.
Okay, Madison's good. I had to like practice these myself.
Yeah.
Like I was like, does that make sense? Okay, Christian's done, Ben's done. Okay. Okay, so let's start here. So Christian, can you read off both sentences? Thank you.
I went to the computer lab. I turned off my computer.
Okay. So who can identify like which one was a noun and which one was an adjective of computer?
Computer lab would be adjective.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned off his computer, so that's the noun.
Yeah. Well done, guys.
Wow.
Good job. Okay, Madison, do you want to go?
The shoe was much too big for her foot. The shoe box contained all sorts of collected knickknacks.
Yes. Okay. So I think we don't have to like review which one's my answer. You guys got it. Good, Ben.
English is my first language. She is my English teacher.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Cool.
Okay.
I don't know if I did it right,
It's okay.
but the shoe was untied and he put his running shoes on for the race.
Okay, so that was like, it was close. But it would be like how Madison used like shoe box.
Mhm.
So it has to come before, the adjective usually comes before the noun. Yeah, but
So like shoe dry.
Shoe polish.
there we go.
Learning.
You're learning. Thank you guys. Okay, so we're gonna move on to noun or verb. As Ben reviewed verbs. So action verb is a word that shows either mental or physical action. So sometimes a word will be a noun in one sentence and then a verb in another sentence. So for example, an old ring was found on the counter. So ring in this instance would be a noun. But then the phone rings very often. So ring is functioning as a totally different thing, and it's a verb because the phone is ringing. So use the word as a noun in one sentence and as a verb in the other. So you guys can pick whichever word you want to do, and then just kind of do, it's the same exercise, but just with verbs now. And then just look up when you're done.
Do we only do one?
Yeah, you can just
Okay.
do one. Perfect. Christian's like, you're all coordinated because the yellow cup and then the yellow hat and the
Oh.
shirt like goes together. It's aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so.
Just like his presentation.
Thank you. Jamie, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
She loves going to the park.
Mhm.
She was looking for where to park her car.
Yes. Well done. There you go.
I think we all did that.
Wait, did everybody do park?
Yeah.
Well, that one's the easiest one.
Yeah.
That's I love that one.
I can do another one.
Okay.
I went to the lemonade stand, and I am going to stand here. Right?
I'm going to stand. I don't know if I think it would see
Stand. What
my
is
practice
stand?
sentence. I put
Yeah.
I put
stand
like,
here.
can you move the stand?
Oh.
So that was my practice sentence, but that's pretty like
I mean,
out there.
lemonade stand is a noun.
There we go.
Yeah, or like that stand.
But
Hey.
I am going to stand there that's
Would that
that's a
be-
verb.
Stand here, Bob.
Right? I mean, yeah, that too.
There we
It's
go.
an imperative.
Yeah. You just taught me something. Okay, and then, yeah, for run. Oh gosh, I can't even think of it on the spot now.
I'm going on a run.
I'm going on a run, and then can you
Right.
run? Okay, yeah, see, you're teaching me. The effect of finals on the brain. Okay,
True.
so gerunds, that's the fun word to say. A verb ending in ing that is used like a noun in a sentence. So example is skiing is my favorite sport. So skiing is a noun here because it's a thing. You're not actually doing the skiing. But then I was skiing, so that would be a verb because you were actually going skiing. So use the word as a noun in one sentence and as a verb in the other. So you guys can pick whichever one you want to do again. You good? This one's like harder to grasp. Yeah. So we'll start on this side again, and then like work our way. Yeah. Okay. So
I am smoking a cigarette,
Mhm.
and smoking is bad for you.
yes.
Oh no, I think I misunderstood. Okay.
No, it's okay.
I said the dog was sleeping on the window seat and the sleeping dog was warm to the touch, but that would be, does that count?
The sleeping dog
Yeah,
would be an
okay, just
adjective.
kidding. So
That's
no.
okay though. No, it's a hard concept to grasp.
Sleeping is nice.
There you go.
I actually think I recall reading in our textbook that you could argue that sleeping dog is the noun.
Oh really?
Sleeping being a part of the dog.
The
There we
sleeping
go.
dog was warm to the touch.
And then Ben, do you have?
The sleeping turtle wasn't sleeping. No, I'm joking. I put she's sleeping and sleeping is my favorite pastime.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because like, Jamie, do you want to share?
I did the exact same one.
Okay.
Sleeping is my fave, and I was sleeping all night.
You do
Yeah, I was just putting, eating is my favorite sport. I was eating. That's like, I mean, try to shoot for the stars, but that's, yeah, if you want to keep it simple. So yeah, so that's gerund. Okay, so we're going to move on to common or proper nouns. So common nouns are nouns that do not name a specific person, place, or thing, so do not capitalize them. So it would be like museum, shoe, game, dog. So, but then a proper noun is just nouns that name specific person, places, or things, so they must be capitalized. So like, what museum did you go to? Oh, the Louvre. Okay, well, I have to put a capital L. Converse, Pac-Man, Snoopy. And this also like relates with like German shepherds. So German and shepherd would be capitalized. But like wiener dogs wouldn't be capitalized. It just kind of goes with like, of course, if it's from a country, you would probably do that. So like Pitbull, you don't capitalize it, but
Unless it's
yeah.
the singer.
Yeah, unless it's the singer. So change the word from a common noun to a proper noun, so you guys can do as much as you want. Yeah. then just look up when you're ready. Can totally have a creative license on this. Madison's ready. Okay, so we will start with Madison. I don't think you looked at first.
Okay. So I changed restaurant to Olive Garden.
Hey. Is that your favorite place?
They do have good.
It's
I mean,
Did you not see it?
Maybe it was like in my mind because I knew you brought it.
They do have good breadsticks.
That's great. They really do. But it's fazoli's. Okay, what else do you guys have?
I kind of misunderstood.
Me too.
Oh no.
So I said, I'm going to my favorite restaurant. It's called restaurant. The second sentence, it's called restaurant. That's the exercise that I took there. That's okay.
Hey, that works.
Oh man. Okay, well, so it would just be, you guys know, like cat could be like Garfield, it'd be capitalized, or beach could be, what's a beach? 1,000 Steps Beach. That would be capitalized. So yeah, so good job. So mass or count nouns. So this one is masses of materials, so things you cannot count, such as a substance or concept. So mass nouns are only singular, and they take on the definite article the or the indefinite quantifier of some. So just the tip, our general rule of thumb is, can you get me a butter for the cake? So no, you wouldn't say that. It would be, can you get me some butter for the cake? Or can you get me the butter for the cake? And then we need a blood, stat, yelled the nurse. Like, no, we need some blood, stat, yelled the nurse. So that's just how you can differentiate it. But count nouns are countable objects, so you can add an S to the end or a number before it. So for like boy, you could put like one boy. You wouldn't put one blood or one flour. You know, flour as in like the baking stuff, not the other one. So it can take on the indefinite article of a or an, and you can count nouns have both a singular and a plural. So you can say a boy, a boys, or not a boys. Yeah, you can, sorry. A shop or a watch. So that's like the difference between count nouns and mass nouns. But then there's a loophole. So if you found, so like food for countable nouns and uncountable nouns, such as water, for example, you can totally do a loophole by putting it in a bottle. So then it becomes countable because it's now in a bottle. So I really like the picture of the guy with the noodles. But yeah, so a bag of popcorn, a bowl of soup, a bowl of noodles, a box of donuts. Okay, so singular and plural nouns. So singular noun is a noun that is just one person, place, thing, or idea. So man, child, candy, park, woman. While plural nouns are a noun that is more than one person, so place, thing, or idea. So men, children, candies, women. So possessive noun forms are a noun that shows ownership. So example, this is Bill's bike. Bill's, he has a possessive S. So he has a sick ride. So that's Bill's bike. But rules for forming possessive nouns. So for a singular noun, you still add the apostrophe S, even if the singular noun ends in an S. So looking back on all of my biblical papers, Jesus was supposed to have an apostrophe S after it.
Really?
Which, yeah, Jesus is. It sounds weird because you think it would, it's not, it doesn't sound right, you know, when you say it, but even like waitresses, this apron, that's how it's supposed to be.
Waitresses.
I don't know if like over time our grammar has kind of, it has changed as we've said in other as you guys have said in other presentations, but yeah, it may have adapted now and changed because this just seems kind of weird, but you're supposed to add an apostrophe S. So for a plural noun that does not end in S, you still add an apostrophe S. So men's room, children's stories, fireman's truck, and teeth's gums. Teeth's gums, again, sounds kind of awkward, but it's supposed to have that apostrophe S. And then for a plural noun that ends in an S, you just add an apostrophe at the end. So this is where it's kind of weird if it's waitresses, is. So if it's a bunch of waitresses, not just one, then it would have, you don't have to do the apostrophe S. Or bunnies, whiskers, you just add the little apostrophe. So this is where a lot of people get like kind of tripped up, which I understand. But yeah, so that's how it's supposed to be. You guys kind of get the concept? Okay, cool. So it's kind of weird. And then singular and plural nouns. So this is just to close off the lesson. Basically, what you guys are going to do is I'm going to give you guys a minute. Could I use someone's phone to time it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it.
I think my phone is dead. Thank you. And then what you're going to do is if the word ends in an S, a CH, an SH, a Z, or an X, add an ES, so churches or quizzes. But if the word ends in a consonant and a Y, thank you, drop the Y and add an IES, so babies and bunnies. And then some words that end in F, you drop the F and add an VES. So not all words end in F follow this rule, especially words that end in the double F. So example, shelves. So what I want you guys to do is just basically you're going to brainstorm as many words as you can that are going, so it would be like baby to babies and then shelf to shelves. And just write down all of them, and then we'll see whoever comes up with like the most.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Yeah, it's kind of like right on the spot. It's okay. Okay.
So 1 minute for the first one, or for all of them?
For all of them.
Okay.
So if you're feeling good about one section, just totally hone in on that. But yeah, and then we will share after the 1 minute. So it's gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Use the back of this. I think this. Do you need it?
No, I'll just. I take it we're not allowed to make verbs. Not words.
I mean, I'm all for it. I want to see what you come up with. Okay, you guys got 15 seconds.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even do anything.
Oh no. 5 seconds. Yep.
Oh my god.
Pencils down. Pencils
Four
down.
words.
Pencils down.
Okay. So, thank you. Who wants to share first? Or why don't we count them up and then we'll see how many you guys got.
This won't take long.
So in total, out of all the categories?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben wins.
No, I have 7.
I have 6.
4.
I don't feel bad. Okay.
Actually,
I'm very disappointed in myself. Kind of disappointed in all of us.
Yeah, I know. We have a minute.
I expected nothing more from myself.
No, you're good.
Did you do it yourself?
I did.
She's like, I got 14.
But the thing is like I had seen the list before and I was like, oh, this would be a fun activity. So I was like, well, I'm kind of cheating because I already like had words inside. Yeah. I feel like that's unfair. But what did you guys come up with?
I had halves, porches, potches, gases, lilies, and buzzes.
I've never heard Porsches. That was a good one.
Porches.
Oh, Porsches.
Like the front
Oh,
porch.
Porsches is also
Porches
good.
is good too, and buses. Not all coming.
Good job. What about you, Miss?
I also did portions. I also have leaves, rubies, and puppies. So,
Nice.
The cheeses, gummies, knives, thieves, tummies, monies, honeys, and loonies.
Well done. Okay. Okay. So that concludes my lesson. So good job, guys. Thank you. Oh yeah, I need to exit.
Which button do I hit to end it?
Oh, I think it's like the top.
Bye, Dr. Hewitt.
I think I think it's